Welcome back to the Mad Rat House part 2 for today on this Thursday tea time. So we've just done in the previous part a flip of this book, The Under the Sea. And now we're going to start colouring. Because hey, who doesn't need a bit of colouring on a stormy afternoon when Doris is trying to get through the window? So we're going to start with the Maidmers. Not mermaids, Maidmers. And I'm going to start off with an underpainting. These, I think I mentioned these in part 1, might not have done, might have been before I recorded, but these are from Hobbycraft. You can see watercolour pastels, 24 pack, non-toxic, all the good stuff there. Water soluble crayons, washes easily, does not stain, safe, non-toxic. Adult supervision may be required. I do have adults in my chat, so I can crack on, that's fine. So they're a bit like a rip-off of gelatos, and from what I've heard about gelatos, from fellow fibs, these seem to work just as well as the gelatos, because the gelatos seem to be quite disappointing. I don't really use these as crayons as such. I've just been using them as watercolour, taking the colour off the tips. Bit like with Neo 2s that I don't have yet. One day my pretties will come. But it leaves a very pastelised background. So I'm going to do the underpainting with that, and then we'll go over the top with either Prismas or Marcos or whatever the mood takes us. So yay. Let's start with, what do we start with? What colour fishes are we going to do? Now you watch me deliberate for a few hours about what colour fishes I do. Alright, I don't have any real gelato. I have these and I have some other water soluble crayon things, other rip-offs, Maped ones. They're only a 12 set. And I don't really get on with the scribbling and the smooshing. I tend to use them as watercolour. I either scribble them onto the palette or take them. I haven't tried taking them off the tip of the other ones actually. I hadn't thought of that, but these ones, taking them off the tip, it's a bit tedious at times, but it does work. Let's do the legs, because I can't think of what colour, but she's going to have peach legs to start with. Come here. Come here, mousy man. Right, I'm going to use my, what are they? Watercolour brushes, obviously. What brand are they? I can't remember. Pentel, and I've got the 3, the small, medium, and large. Oh, more craft lunch. I really need to sort out my desk and the surrounding area, don't I? Project before next week, maybe. Then next week will come and I won't have done it. Which one was I using? That one? That's a tiny one. Let's use the medium. Let's go for medium. I'm still getting the hang of using these. Have I got any tissue roll? I have got some tissue here that I can use to pull the ends off. One green, one blue, one yellow. I can do that. I'm not going to focus on a background for now. I don't know if I want a background or whether they're getting a background, or I don't know. But anyway, let's make... Their legs are obviously supposed to be human, aren't they? So they're going to be peach humans, because well, that's the only skin really I know how to do. In fact, I don't even know how to do that, but every time I try to do a mixed race person or somebody darker, well, get some water out of this would be good. Here we go. They end up looking like they're just covered in mud. I really need to focus on that and get better. Although saying that, my causation people just end up looking pink like children did them anyway. I don't even know if you're going to see this because it's so light, but oh yeah, you can probably see a bit. Yeah, my causation people, yeah, they end up, you know, when you're a kid and you paint everybody pink. Yeah. That's my kind. Although at least I've graduated to peach now. So these are very light and very, in fact you probably can't even see anything at all with this one. Next month I've got the last scrawler box on the way to me now apparently, and I'm going to cancel it. So I think next month I'm going to, instead of spending out for a scrawler box, which, to be honest, a couple of them have been right up my alley. I'm not going through anything, and I've used loads of water on there, look, and it's not going through anything. It's nice thick paper. I'm going to start spending the £15 a month on something I want, so I think I'll probably start off by getting the next month by getting the 15 set of Neos, because at least by those you can scribble them and mix them, can't you? And then build up slowly from there with open stock and what have you. I'm saying that if a scrawler box, because they always publish what's in it after the effect, and I believe you can buy them if they've got any left afterwards. So if a amazing scrawler box did come up and it was a really good deal, and yes, I want that, then I can always go ahead and just order that month. I'm saying that it's probably going to be something absolutely amazing now, isn't it, this month, and I'm going to change my mind. But at the moment, my mind's made up, and this is what I've decided. Okay, it's not overly pigmented, but I just like getting some colour on the page, because especially when using pencils, the white page daunts me so much. If it's got some colour on it for me to work over, I'm much happier. Otherwise it's a bit like, well, where do I start? What do I do? And that's how I do most of my colouring books. Some I do go straight in with pencil. Like my, what was it, my Fantastic Beasts one. I haven't worked in that for ages actually, I need to finish that page. But yeah, I've been going in there straight with pencil. But I might do this and get some idea of where the colours are going too. What colours are going where and how. I think you can possibly see the differentiation. Yeah, you can mix these colours. You can mix these colours. Yeah, you can totally mix these colours, especially if you scribble them out and mix them around. They're just waterways. They're basically, even looking at them, look, they're pretty much gelato rip-offs, aren't they? Yeah, just they're not. Well, I thought they weren't as pigmented as gelatos, but then I saw Sarah O try some actual gelatos, and they don't look very pigmented either. So maybe they are, you know, on a par. But, gelatos are expensive, and these were not. Not these. We were in Hobbycraft just before Christmas. I've been eyeing these up on the website because they were only £5 and they were new in, and they were, you know, on the headers. They tend to promote their new thing. And then I saw them in the store, and I looked at them and I thought, no, being good, don't need them. When we got outside, Andrew had bought them for me, bless him, as a treat. And I was quite poorly before Christmas, so yeah. So that's how I got these babies, and I do like them. You know them, especially this one. This is a nice metallic gold. When you water it down, it doesn't show up metallic, but when you put it on as a crayon, actually, that might be a good idea for, although it's shimmery rather than metallic, I guess. That might be an idea for my Melcy book, maybe. Maybe. Think of it. But yeah, the colours are beautiful in this. The blue, I love this. It's showing up. It's like a minty aqua blue. I love this colour. This one's well used. You can see it's well used. I love this colour. And the blues, and then there's all the purples. What I like about this set too is it actually has a white in, whereas my other set didn't have a white. It has a black. It has various shades of everything. Nice pinks and purples, and obviously I'm all about pink and purple. But yeah, the white, because especially if you're using them as actual pastels, white's quite important. Well, it is for me anyway. Not so much if you're just using them in watercolour, obviously, because you can use the classic watercolour technique and just do it watered down. Although I tend to use white to make pastel colours anyway. That's why my whites in all my sets are very depleted. Because I prefer a stronger colour than wishy-washy. I say until, well, even once I get the Neo 2s, I think these will still be utilised and used. And I haven't really tried a background yet of doing of smudging these. I've just watched them all out, you know. But I have with my others, and my others maybe extrude them, or I don't know. I don't know whether I'm really a pastel girl or not. I think part of it too is getting your hands all messy and in there, isn't it? And that's, we know that's not my favourite thing. Really struggling with this brush. Sometimes these brushes work perfectly for me, absolutely perfectly. And at other times they're far too juicy and then they just go far too dry. I'm sure it's about technique and it's about the operator rather than the equipment. But yeah. So there's some skin. You can't actually see that I've done much, but in real life it looks much more skin. I say it's a base colour. I will don't know whether I Prisma or Marco or both over the top, but one or the other. Check the other side. Yeah, it's a little bit wrinkly, but it's certainly not gone through at all. This side is still bone dry. What am I missing? Are we still talking about spiders? Oh, now we have fleas too. No, no fleas here. Definitely no fleas here. And Judy Bum got kicked out all the way to NASA. Wow. Keep your dogs in your yard? You mean not let them in the house? Was that not what you mean? How do you pronounce chartreuse? Chartreuse. Well, that's my go at it, Daz. Chartreuse. Chartreuse. That's that really pretty light green colour, isn't it? Hi, Anna Maria. Have a good day. Oh, you need to go and get dog meds. Hope doggy's okay then. Oh, I see. You mean keep them in your own garden? In your own yard rather than in other people's yards. Not keep them in the yard full stop. I get you. Okay. Wasn't on board with that bit, but yes, they shouldn't be going in other people's gardens, no. Yeah, I can see you, Ange. You got a weird message. I'm not typing, so it wasn't me. It's going a bit wrinkly, but it will dry, and by the time we've... Maybe I should heat gun. What happened to my heat gun? Was that something that went in the craft lunch? Yes. Let's heat gun it then. Hands over your ears, fingers in your ears. There we go. Oh, that's hot. Yeah, hot. Right, what colour fishies did we say? Oh, stop going dark, you silly thing. Let's see, we want a nice green one, don't we? And a blue one. And maybe a purple. Let's do a green one. Start off with some of this minty colour that I love. And then we'll put some darker colour on top. I have no idea what I'm doing here, guys. No idea what I'm doing. I think I need to title these shows The Mad Rat House, How Not to Art. Maybe I can zoom in one while I'm working on her head even. There you go. How Not to Art. And I can hardly move the book because it's wedged in here, so you'll still be able to see. I don't know if you can see the colours even. No, I think the colours are so pale on these pastel ones. That's good because I want them pale so I can build them up, if that makes sense. Probably not the best medium to use on camera in hindsight. But hindsight's wonderful, isn't it? And I've started now, so I will continue. This is looking really blue on camera too. This is green, I promise. This is like a minty, tealy green. Reminds me of mint choc chip ice cream. What other bits would be that colour on her then? Those bits maybe? Although I only have the 48 Prismas, so it might mean mixing the Prismas and the Marcos, because I have the 72 Marcos, to get enough colour, or it'd be... I can mix the Prismas though. That's what I was doing in the Mousy book. That nice maroon colour, maroon burgundy that was in that square design by the first page, I mixed that. Nope, the colour's not bleeding through the paper, nothing whatsoever. And so I'm using quite a bit of water, just a little bit, you can see, a little bit tiny buckling, but not much. And as soon as you dry it, like I just dried there, it goes back flat. So yeah, no, nothing coming through whatsoever. Really nice thick paper this is. Obviously it wouldn't be like alcohol marker or anything like that proof, but I imagine Crayolas, lightly, or pencils, Neos, any of that good stuff, it would be good. Gel pens I would imagine would be fine. Probably will go in at the end with some glittery gel pens, because you know every fish needs glitter, doesn't it? This is like a bluey green. It looks much more bluey on the screen than it is, but it's green. It's green. And let's do the fins, not the fins, the, what do you call these? Scales. The scales. And this is where I need to work on my blending and choosing shading and choosing colour palettes. And I'm just so bummed that it's so washed out on screen. This must be like watching invisible paint dry for you guys. I wonder if I can change that. Let me see if I can fiddle with the colours a bit to make it look a bit better for you guys. No, no, I don't need to follow my face. That's not my face, you cheeky camera. I don't look like a fish. I look like the whale. Well, that's a bit better. That's much more true to life. There we go. That's more true to life in the colours that I'm using. It still looks a bit blue for you, but it's much better. Yeah, it is fabulous for the price. Absolutely amazing for the price. For £1, you know, I'm not going to moan one little bit if it does go through. Well, actually, no. This is me. I will moan a hell of a lot if it had gone through. But then I would have just picked and choose, and my use of English today is absolutely fantastic. You just have to pick and choose more carefully about which ones you wanted to save and which ones you were willing to sacrifice. But no, looks like you can have them all in this book. And so it definitely looks, it's definitely one of those like too good to be true for Poundland type books, and it was literally the only one of them on the shelf. Now what colours? Let's do the stripy bit in this too. Stripy bit in there too. You think she should have green lips like the rest of us, or should we give her some lipstick? Lipstick? Lipstick. Let's face it, every Maidmer needs lipstick, don't they? Might have to give her some eyelashes on her eyes too, like some of the other marine life in here that have got the pretty eyelashes. Yeah, fishes do have lips. They do. And all fishes are called Bob. Because if you ask them what their name is, that's what they say. Bob, Bob. True fact. Again, this doesn't have to be the final colour. I'm going outside the lines a bit there, but we can change it and up and what have you, shade it better with the pencils. Yeah, hussy fishy. Hussy fishy. Definitely that one. That one's fish doing one of those fish face, duck face things that all the kids do in selfies. What was in my tea this morning? I don't have tea, I have Coke, as in Coca-Cola. That is the issue. This is me on Coca-Cola. Proper red Coca-Cola brand Coca-Cola. You can see why I'm not allowed it very often, can't you? Oh no, Anne, you got kicked out. That happens on my phone actually, on the app. All the time. I get to watch for about 10 minutes or so. 15 if I'm very, very lucky. And then it cuts off. And then I have to go all through again. And then because I don't have a, what do you call it? Ad blocker on my phone. I have to watch the silly ad. Well, I don't know what Doris is up to, but I hear sirens. Don't know if you heard that, but there's a lot of sirens going along around here. Don't know whether Doris has knocked something over or whether it's unrelated to Doris, but I know this storm Doris is causing havoc in our county. There's parts of the county that are without power. There's umpteen trees down. There's a building site in city centre. Well, the whole city centre is a building site at the minute. Ask Lady Jan when she came to visit. But it finishes the end of this year. It sounds like some of their boarding, you know, the boards that they put, the big boards that they put around the building sites, from what I could make out on the news site on Twitter, that some of those have come down. Fences are down, rubbish bins are everywhere. Nothing like you guys when you get storms over there, obviously, your hurricanes, and they're like, you know, it's all manageable here. But yeah, it is causing havoc today. A lot of trains are either stopped or they've reduced the speed right down, and obviously Oxford is quite a big commuter city. Lots of people either commute to us to work here, or that because it's so expensive to live here, or they commute from here to work in London. So that's going to be a nightmare on the trains this evening. And then I think a lot of flights are grounded too from main airports, Heathrow and Gatwick and what have you, because that's obviously Oxford. We're only 40 miles away. It's only up the road from us. So yeah, she's having a right old fit, is Doris. And I don't get why they name all these storms after women. And especially give them twee old names like Doris. Well, especially in this country, lots of Dorises would now be, you know, old ladies. Sweet old ladies. But no, they've named this heinous storm Doris instead. How strange. That was her fin, wasn't it? Was that her fin? Or was it her fin? Oh, I think that was her fin round her shoulder, isn't it? Oh well. We'll dry it and we'll go over it. I've seen that. It looks like it goes, that's her fin. And she's got it round her shoulder. I thought it was her fin. It's not, is it? Never mind. We can go over the top of that. Not all is lost. Yeah, it does, CB. That's what you get for ranting and being hyped on sugar and caffeine and not paying attention. Anyway, let's dry it. Then we can fix it. Or we can try. Fingers in your ears. Top tip, always remember to move your heat gun away before you touch. And even now it's red hot. I saw Laura drying with a hairdryer one day last week, the week before, and she was musing about getting a heat gun. And I made sure to warn her, never, because she was feeling as she was doing it, never do that with a heat gun. Been there, got the t-shirt, didn't end well. But yep, still nothing through at all. And this side is hardly wrinkled too, once you dry it. And obviously once I've gone over the top with pencil, yeah, it's starting to give the wrinkly sound, you know, compared to... But I like that. And once, by the time you've used pencil and close it, I usually close it and put a heavier book on top of it if I'm really that bothered. Then it will be fine. I love this picture too, Judy. There you go. Right, so we need to pick what colour we're doing her and sort her. and then we can fix the mistake. Although she'll probably end up with multifaceted fins now, won't she? Never mind. Right. I think she's going to be a purple fish. You used your heat gun to dry your nails after you painted them. Do you have any fingers left, Jess? I actually was very tempted to do that once. That thought did cross my mind, and then I remembered how much it hurt when I was doing that. And I was like, no, let's not do that. Let's dig out the hairdryer like a proper person. But mine gets so hot, absolutely red hot. Oh, yeah. Don't know if it tells you how hot it gets to. No. It says don't put it in the shower. Useful bit of information. Don't put it in the shower. Alright then, I won't. Don't put it in the bin. Made in China. Caution, hot surface, avoid contact. I don't know, but it's very pretty. It's pink with a love heart on it, so what more do you want from a crafting tool, eh? And now I've adjusted my colours a bit better. That is really what colour it is. It's like literally this hot, hot, hot pink. Love it. With speckles of paint all over it these days, but we won't talk about that. It didn't burn you. I don't think I'll be trying your top tip actually though. Right, let's try this Beverly. Oh, the ends broke off. Let's squish it back on if we can. Oh dear, I've ended up with pink fingers here. Oh, this is probably a bit pink for purple. Never mind, pink and purple fishy she is. I need to be mindful of the time. We've got half an hour left. I know yours is, Jess. Yours is the black and white mask with pink, the same as Angie's. The first time I saw Angie's, oh my god, I'm in love with it, but you can't get it here, or if you can, it's like really stupid money. Let's break that bit off because I don't need that. But yeah, I love that one, and if I could have got that one here, I would. But that one was, I'm not sure if it was £5 or £10 from Hobbycraft. We're really limited on craft shops here. So, oh yeah, this is far more pink than I wanted. But never mind, she's a pink and purple fish now. Pink and purple fish. We can tone it down to more purpley if we want to with the pencils. Yeah, pink and purple fish. Never mind, it's just a colouring book. They could be rainbow fish, couldn't they even? It would still be alright. They're not going to be, but they could be. Oh, we didn't give Green Fishy any lipstick. What colour lipstick should she have? Should she have pink, purple, red, gold lipstick, blue? Or actually, maybe I'll leave the lips. Welcome back, Suzanne. And they could have glitter lips, couldn't they, with gel pens? I think that's what they're having. Glitter gel pen lips. Every self-respecting hutty fish needs glittery lips, don't they? I'm going to end up looking like streetwalker fish when I'm finished with them. But hey, never mind, it's a look. It's a look. I can't wait for you to get yours either, Suzanne, and see what you do with it. Like I say, if I ever find any more of these, because this is so cool, I'm going to go back to that shop. It's a little drive, I'll go back next week. No, I have a car again, by the way. We won't go into the condition of the car and my paddy about it the other day. but I have wheels that go that are legal. So watch out, UK fibs. I'm mobile. Oh, sorry. Can you... Right, Andrew's home early because of the storm. Can you just check there's nothing in those bags, please? I think I've emptied them. I'm just tidying up all the carrier bags that I have around here. That I've left everywhere because I'm not used to having people here when I stream, so I just chuck everything everywhere. Hi, Trimus. But yes, what I'm saying is if I find any more of these, I will pick up some and we can do a giveaway. Or I can just send them to people that really, really want them. But like I say, with the caveat that I'm Queen Bam. Right. Let's start here. See, that's purple like I wanted. But I thought this one was going to be a more... I thought it was going to be a sort of mauvey purple rather than a bright pink. But never mind. You ordered 2 of these books. Like I say, the quality of it, if I can find any more for £1, I will definitely be snapping those babies up. And I want to go back and see if they've got any more of the, you know, like the Dapper Animals and things like the Scully book. Because they look fun. I did look through all of them, but I knew that I was only going to allow myself to bring one home. It was like, well, skulls win. You do amazing things with this, Jess. I know you would. Your colouring is so on point, as the kids say. Is it on fleek, on point? I don't know. Oh, Daz just finished swatching her Prismas. Yay! They look so pretty when they're all swatched. Rat Trail. Let me show you my swatches. I showed this book a few weeks ago. I got colour charts and I haven't done anything with it really apart from swatch some colours. I think I've already showed these. But yeah, they're my Prisma swatches. Aren't they pretty? Prisma swatches. I've got more than 48 by the way because I've got the 48 set go to there, and then these are, I've got the manga set. You have this debate every time I say it. That have got a few colours in that. It's got lots of duplicates, but it's also got some colours that aren't in the main set. And then there's my Marcos, more pretties. So yay. I will say though that I have noticed when swatching the two, let's have another rabbit trail, as I've got my Prismas here. Another rat trail. YouTube, just fast forward if you like, or stay tuned, whichever. These are my well-used manga set, and it comes with Verithin. Although all my Verithins keep breaking. I don't know what's wrong with my Verithins, but I've not had a problem with actually any of the Prismas. And that's my eraser brush, my cheap eraser brush, my expensive ones over here somewhere. My Faber-Castell one. This is a Staedtler one, but I do use it and it does erase them. Anyway, I digress. What I will say that I've noticed is, let's see if we can find like for like, what colour would show up well, is these ones. Here's that chartreuse, whatever it colour is. I don't know if you're going to see it well on camera, but they're a lot thicker, a lot thinner than, I mean these mangas are a couple of years old, but these new ones that the price has suddenly gone down on, I've noticed they're where's the white? They're a hell of a lot thinner. And they don't look it totally side by side, but when you put them end to end, don't know if you can see that, and you can just tell by, if you hold this one in your hand, the thickness of that, and then this one feels so thin compared to the others. But yeah, so that's possibly why the price has gone down too, because I guess you get, obviously the colour core in the middle is a bit, that one's chipped too, how rude, chipped. But yeah, you get more colour in the middle of that one. Actually, I think that one, I picked up the wrong one. I don't think I've got the contemporary of that one. But yeah, you see the large centre of that one and the smaller centre of that one. That one's got a lot more wood round it. I'm not even on camera. A lot more wood round it than the older one. So I'm guessing that's why they've gone down in price, because you're getting a lot less of the actual product, the wax, for your money. So yeah, either way they're good. They're good. I love them. If I put the right one in the right thing, yeah. I need to find a tin to put them all in, really. But yeah, so that's, conversely, that's what I noticed while working on my mouse book. As I say, I've been using these for mouse guard. And that's what, I see, I love these. These are well loved. I've used these for a long time, and obviously they're limited colour palette, but I've just been mixing. They're so easy to mix. So easy to mix. And I also have the colour rays and my Marcos. But yeah, so that seems to be, to me, why they've gone down in price so much. So yay that it makes it good for, you know, people that couldn't afford them before, like me. I couldn't afford the big set before, but boo that they've made them inferior quality to reduce the price. It'll be interesting to see how long they last compared to the old ones. I'm guessing because they're thinner, as you sharpen them, they're going to go down a hell of a lot quicker than the older ones. But if I hadn't have had the older ones and had never used Prisma before, I'd be none the wiser. I suppose I could just have a rogue set maybe, but that are thinner and less product. But I think more than likely it is purposefully done so that they can reduce the prices and still make decent margins. That's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You're still getting a decent amount of product for your money, I think. And they perform exactly the same. There's no change in performance for me. I've had no breakages so far yet with either of them. Well, a few breakages, but that's more me and my gammy hands being clumsy than it is to do with the actual pencils themselves. And I refuse to fork out for one of their expensive sharpeners. As long as your sharpener's got a new sharp blade, it seems to be okay. I'll just change sharpeners when it gets dull. Yeah, these very thins, they all break, Suzanne, without fail. And they're tiny, absolutely, you've seen they're tiny, and I've hardly used them because I can't get a point on them or any lead that is usable. Ridiculous. I did actually, when I bought, well, Andrew bought me for Christmas a couple of years ago, he got them, what he does is, I fill my wish list up, and for birthdays and Christmas he hops onto my Amazon, has a look at my wish list, and then he chooses from there. And I didn't actually realise that it had Verathins in it. I thought it was just the Prismacolors, so they were an added bonus anyway, but not so much of a bonus as it seems because they keep breaking. Like I say, I love the actual Prismas, so. Jess has packages at the post, but she's lazy and doesn't want to walk down there. Do you not get post to your house? I mean, if we miss a delivery here in the UK, then we go to the post depot to pick it up unless we arrange for it to be redelivered. But that's quite an alien concept that they're at the post office and here they bring them to your house. Like literally to your house, not to your post box outside. They come and knock on your door and give you them. Or put them through the door if they fit, obviously. But is that not a thing in America? Do you just have parcel deliveries to a central place if they come via post? I know obviously UPS deliver because Janet's UPS guy delivered to her, didn't she? Right, now we need to decide this fish here. That's obviously her fin, isn't it? No, so far my new ones haven't broken. Touch wood. So far the new ones haven't broken. But I haven't sharpened all of them. I've only sharpened maybe 10 out of them. The others I've just been using their point or not used yet. So yeah, touch wood. Right, help me. I need to repair this fin, I know. So this one needs turning pink. Pinky purple. This fin, I guess this fin is hers too, isn't it? But this fin, I think that must belong to her, mustn't it? Otherwise she's a very odd shape with nothing. Oh, they don't deliver the mail there because it's so tiny. I see. Do you think the tinier the place, the easier it would be? I'd moan about that. Well, I moan about everything, so that's nothing new, but... Right, let's see if we can get that fin remotely pink. Remotely pink. You don't like walking up the hills on the way back? Take, oh, I can't remember Doggy's name. Big Doggy. Take the big one. The big doggy, Jess. I can't remember his name. I'm rubbish with names. And then he can pull you back up the hill. That's what I do. That's what I used to do with our medium dog. Well, I still do sometimes with the Rocky, the medium-sized doggy. Well, small medium. He was nice and strong. He was always good for pulling up hills. Oh, I quite like this colour it's going actually with the green underneath. I think I'm going to have to put the green underneath her other one. And then pink over the top. Quite like that colour it's gone. Yeah, Mason, that's it. Take Mason. He'll help you get up the hill. Pair of roller skates and you're away. Yes, yes, I hear you girls. I'm getting antsy. Like, is it our time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? Has anybody heard from Jean? Let's sneak over to Twitter. Come on, laptop. I know you run on Steam. Oh, yep, she's crawling out of bed. Just to get something to eat. Let's keep going for now then. No, I don't want you to break your neck, Jess. Maybe a skateboard then. Says she, who's got 2 left feet and no balance whatsoever since being sick. I'm actually saying that. No, I could never do roller skates. I used to literally go around on my hands and knees with my roller skates on. Yeah, I've never been dainty and graceful enough to have the balance to do that. Never. And no cancer. Oh, wow, that is amazing. I am so happy. Yay. That is amazing news, my friend. Yay! Oops, sorry. I just blurted that out loud. I am recording, but I won't publish this if you don't want me to. You did say you're going to tweet, so... And nobody watches my videos anyway, apart from Fibs. Pretty fish. Pretty fish is pretty. I want to be a pretty fish. Oh, that storm is getting up a bit. It's probably even worse now because it's all completely dark outside and now we can't see what it's doing. Before you could see branches and things being hurled at us and what have you, but now who knows what it's doing? Who knows what it's done to my little plants in the garden? I noticed that my bird feeder was upside down, inside out. I hope there was no birdies attached to it while it did it. I am so slow, aren't I, guys? I'm sorry. Also quite a few rat trails, but yeah. I'd like to say it's just I'm slow because I'm on stream and multitasking, but I'm not much faster off stream either, to be honest. I would say to anybody on YouTube, just fast forward to the end to see the finished project, but you're not going to see the finished project. By far. One day you might. You might be old and grey by then, but one day you might. No, I don't know. I would say that I'll finish it by next week, but I think what I will do is save this to work on my stream next week. Unless I decide to do a piece of original art, which I've been leaning towards for a while. I want to get into more original art, but this is fun. I like this fish. Oh, and your aunt either, Jess. She doesn't have cancer. Oh, that's amazing. This is a good week then. A good news week. It's about time we had one of those. Who's making the dairy-free cake then and delivering it? Right, so I like the colour that came out, so I'm going to paint. I'm really sure. Can we just have a conflab, please, before I go ahead? That this fin here, is it hers too, or is it hers? This one I'm going with is definitely hers, but this one here, do we think it's hers, or do we think hers is right the way over there? And it's got like a pointy bit there, so I don't know. It doesn't really follow the shape. There, it follows the shape, doesn't it? Round. And now I painted it in, I can obviously see. I just wasn't paying attention the first time. But here, I'm not sure. How does one make dairy-free cake? You use a dairy-free spread instead of butter and soy milk or almond milk or whatever. I still eat eggs. Still eat eggs. I'm not allergic to those. And cocoa powder's fine, or dark chocolate if you're having chocolate cake. That's how we make dairy-free cake. Say thinks it's the right one. Yeah, I think it's hers too. Let me paint that one in. That's what I'm leaning towards. But then I got the first one totally wrong, so could be wrong. Right fin for right fish, do you think, CB? Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise she's going to have a weird shape, isn't she? She's, you know, she's got like an arm socket there with nothing coming out of it. So I think, because that's like an arm socket, isn't it? You think of her like the woman, that's like a swimming, I know she's a fish, but it looks to me like a swimming costume sort of thing with the... I'll eat chocolate in any form. So I like the way that pink and green turned out, so painting this green first and then I'll go over the top of the pink in a minute. Make it look like the other one. Right, so this fishy is going to be a blue fishy, isn't she? She, he, it. She. Yeah, it is a she. It's got to be a she. It could be a drag fishy. They could all be boys and they could all be drag fishes. Who knows? Right, what blue? That blue is going to be her main bit, so maybe that blue? Yeah, let's go for this blue for now. I'll eat any cake except coffee cake because I cannot stand coffee. Anything bar coffee is good for me. Yeah, blue fishy. I know, I'm weird. I don't like coffee. Don't do coffee, never have, never will. Yuck. Cheesecake is better. Yeah, I miss cheesecake. The soft cheeses, the soy soft cheese, vegan soft cheeses, don't really taste anything the same. So I haven't had cheesecake in a long time. Over a year now. Although we did go out to eat on Saturday after the birthday party that we went to. So why does my... Well, I know why my stream always ends up to food, because I finish right on dinner time. Well, dinner time here in the UK. And I guess it's lunchtime for most of you guys, so yeah, logical. But anyway, we went out to eat afterwards, after the party, me, Andrew and Alf. For the first time in a restaurant in a long time, they had a vegan pudding. So I could have pudding with the boys. The boys had ice cream. Obviously, I couldn't have ice cream. No, Alf had ice cream. Andrew had profiteroles. Were they salted caramel profiteroles. And I had this amazing, it was a coconut rice pudding made with coconut milk and this raspberry sauce with real raspberries in. Oh my gosh, was it lovely. Because usually when the boys have pudding, I just have to sit and watch because there's never anything. Occasionally there's a dry fruit salad I can have, but not in the winter. They seem to, most places here, well, the ones that we frequent anyway, seem to take their fruit salad off over the winter and fill it with more slushy puddings, which is understandable. And yes, I would love to eat, but I can't. And oh my, was it wonderful. I was probably far too full to eat dessert, but it was lovely. Yum, yum, yum. Cheesecake is to die for, CB. Probably literally for me these days. Right, let's see. The mid blue, which blue? Oh, my blues really show up funny on my camera. I changed the... It's quite accurate there, but these are really wrong, although they're slightly different colours anyway. But the lighter blue or the dark blue? I suppose if we do the lighter blue, I can always darken it, can't I? I can't lighten it as easy. Yeah, down with coffee. Andrew hates coffee too. Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise when we first got together. Neither of us do coffee. Actually, we're both quite similar with our eating habits, although I eat more seafood and more varied vegetables as him, and he eats more meat products than I do. Because I quite happily be vegetarian or pescatarian even. And Jean. What was I going to say about Jean? Do we think she's going to be ready to come on in 5 minutes? Or not? I'm going to finish this fishy regardless. If she's not ready, we'll keep going, and then I'll get the babes after this fishy, because that way, if she is ready, or whenever Jean is ready, because then anybody that doesn't like the rats won't be left out in the cold. They'll have some company with Jean for the 5 minutes. Oh, well, that's very juicy. Nice colour, but very juicy. Seafood is gross. No, Jess. No. Seafood is yum. That's a nice blue. In fact, I don't even think I've ever used this one before. I don't even remember swatching it, because it's still pristine. So I don't think I've even used this one before. Oh, that was a nice discovery. What I'm using to paint, I am using, let me close it up, madly, these watercolour pastels from Hobbycraft. They're basically gelato rip-offs. That's what I'm using. And I tried using them straight from the crayon, like Neo 2's, last night on my mousy book, and I like the result because it doesn't give too much pigment, which is good, because then I like to go over the top and detail with Prismas. Well, I was using Prismas in the mouse book anyway, or Marcos, or any brand of pencil will work, even Crayolas. I have Crayolas. But yeah, so I decided they were close at hand because I'd showed people what I was using in my mousy book, and I'd go with it. And that's what I'm doing. Jean was rolling out of bed 30 minutes ago. 28 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. I first thought that said Jean was rolling around in bed 30 minutes ago. I was like, how did you know that? Would somebody be lovely enough to tweet her and ask her what time she's planning to go live, if she's planning to go live on time, or if she would like me to filibuster for a bit? They look really similar on camera, but in real life they're actually quite different. Although she has quite a conspicuous patch there. It looks a bit like she's had an accident, because that bit's darker. Let's darken the whole bottom section, shall we, so she doesn't have to look embarrassed. We haven't checked the back for a while. Let's see. No, nothing there. Nothing there. Good as new. Just a slight bit of Slight bit of buckling, but you're going to get that in any paper you put wet media on, really, aren't you? Oh, now I need to find the spot again. There we go. Right. Apologise for the extra noise now. My tummy's rumbling. I don't know what we're having for dinner though. I never know what we're having for dinner, especially on a Thursday. It's usually potluck. And how many spoons I have left after a stream. Very true, CB. Living in the sea, wet spots don't show. No tenor lady for this fishy. I don't know if they are embarrassed if they wet themselves, Miss A. I've never actually met one to ask. Maybe we should try to go to the aquarium this weekend and ask one. I'm sure Alfie would delight in that. No, he'd happily ask fish questions. Oh, too much water. Stop doing that, brush. It's totally user error here, but it's still maddening. And this one, it's supposed to be a darker blue, but it doesn't come out very dark at all. Let's put some of that there. Some of these are definitely better than others pigment wise. They're not completely, the quality isn't overall consistent with these crayons. Some give really good pigment, like the purple gave really good pigment, and that green and that blue, but like this green doesn't give amazingly, and that supposed to be a dark blue didn't at all. Jean will be ready in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'll finish up her fin then, and then we can get rodents. Which colour was I using? This colour, wasn't it? Is that dry now? Make sure it's dry before I make a hole in my paper. Bye, CB. Have a good afternoon. See you in a little while, probably. Thank you for coming. Ears. Right, let's finish up this fish. Otherwise I'll forget what colours I used by last week. By next week. No, now not enough water. That's better. So hopefully we'll continue this next week, but or impromptu between now and then. But knowing me, I could decide to do something completely different next week. So who knows? Who knows? That's made it exactly the same purple as before. Never mind then. So there we go. There's our start of our Maidmers. The start of our Maidmers. Bye, Jess. Thank you for coming. Right, let's tidy up a little bit. That needs to go back over there for Melty Book. Let's zoom out a tiny bit so you can see the full picture. Oh. There we go. So that's what we've got done today. Like I say, I'm painfully slow, and we did lots of show and tell and lots of chattering. So next time we just need to finish the wet media on the background and there, and then deploy the pencils. And eventually we'll get round to doing the actual mermaids, but Maidmers are far more interesting, I think. That's that. So it's the time of the show where I will say goodbye to anybody that doesn't like rats. They're not scary at all. They're semi-well behaved. They're nice. They're cute. They're sweet. But if that's not your cup of tea, anybody, now's your time to go and make a cup of tea or something, or hop over and wait for Jean at the Musical Scrapper, who's on after me on a Thursday. Those that do want to see the babies, I will be right back with the babies. And there's the book that we've been working in for anybody that didn't see it. There's a full flip on part 1. I'm going to move the Coke out the way too, because rats on sugar and caffeine. No, thank you. Right, be right back. I'm so straight in that. Yes, it's time. Come on now. Yes, could you run really past the Iris? You could you? It's Queenie. Queenie, can you come out of there? No, you can't fit me through there. If you want to come, you need to get out of that house. Well, you can't fit you and her home through the house door. You can't even find a house door. Get out, get out, get out. Yeah, you're ready for it. Good girl. Queenie, are you coming? Mommy hasn't got all year. Come on. Yes, I know. Iris, Queenie's being awkward. There we go. I wanted to come, but she didn't want to get out the house. Here they come. Queenie was being extra awkward. She wanted to come, but she wanted me to pick her up from in her house, and I don't fit my hand and her through the little house door anymore. Right, here we go. Let's put the book away. Who do we have? Somebody's climbing down my back. There's an Iris, who was the first one ready to come. Am I zoomed out as far as I go? Because they're going to scatter, aren't they?
Lost the back.
I know, they can hear you. They're going to come for you. Who is it? Porpentina. There's a Lilliper. You can see she's totally not lost any weight since last week. Here's a Queenie. Miss Cutie Queenie.
Porpentina's got your hot cross bun.
Porpentina's found a hot cross bun that I've left by the sofa and she's eating it. Can you come back, please? Come on. You're not supposed to be playing on the sofa. You're supposed to be playing and seeing everybody. And here's naughty, cheeky Porpentina. That's now, let me go, let me go. I found food. I want to go back to the food. She's very cheeky. Very cheeky. As you can see, they're very tame now. They walk with the big girls. Queen is sat on my shoulder. And they've gone. They're behind the laptop. They think they're hilarious. Just have a look at Queenie then, because Queen is sat on my shoulder as usual. She's a little sweetheart. Little Dumbo Queenie. Little Dumbo Queenie. Say hello. Say hello to your fans. Say hi. I'm Queenie. You are saying hello. Good girl. Little spotty belly. Look at her little spotty belly. No, Iris. Lily. Just seeing teeth in the corner of my colouring book. Just about to sink in. Little monkeys. Come out and say hello. No, we shan't. We're behind the laptop where it's nice and warm and you can't see us, Mum, and we're stealing your stuff and trashing it. Here's a Lillifer. Here's a Lillifer. Here's a big orange Lillifer. Last night when Ella was asking how big they are, I'm like, well, how do I describe how big this is? Like, size of a small guinea pig, maybe? Look at her. She's just obsessive with food since she's been the alpha rat. And I've tried putting her on a diet, but she'll take it off the others and she will still get food. And, yeah, sort of locking her in a cage on her own at all times, you know, and starved her to death. There's not a lot I can do about it. She has plenty of exercise, but does plenty of eating to counteract that. Look, look. What's it saying? If you can pinch more than an inch. She's getting very cross now. She wants to be behind the laptop with the others to see if there's food. Iris got a little bit chubby over Christmas, but she's lost most of hers with Iris. And that's a rubber, Lil. You can't eat rubbers. Iris is very squeaky because she's constantly being picked on, bless her. And you can see, look, she's starting to miss little bits of fur again where her sister's been plucking her. Usually over food. But yeah, Iris has lost quite a lot of her weight. You know, she's got some muscle tone definition back in again. But Lil, no chance. Oh, say hello to everybody, pretty Iris. Say hello. Pretty girl. Let you go, please. Let you go, please. The others are doing something you want to go and see. And of course, Lily's chub isn't helped by Alfie because she's always begging and Alfie loves them to bits and she will just con him into giving her treats all the time, even if it's just her own food out of the, you know, the main lot of food out of the basket. Oh, she looks so black. I didn't change my colours back, did I? So yeah, so she's always being fed. Let's see if that makes these look any better. That's better. More minky coloured. Although I'm never going to get the colours just right on the camera. This is little crazy Porpentina that used to be like unhandleable, wouldn't talk to you, wouldn't come near you. She's back up on my shoulder now. But yeah, certainly not scared anymore. She's eager to go, but that's because she wants to go and play with the others. But yeah, she waits at the door now. She's first out usually. She's trying to type. And Queenie's still, she's sneaky. She is sneaky. She has her moments, but she's a little sweetie is Queenie. Little sweetie. Aren't you? So there's the babies. And now they've all scattered again. So I guess Jean's nearly on. So you can see Queenie's bum. Look, she's typing on the laptop. Iris, that will be a craft lunch. Queenie's trying to work out how she gets in there with the others. She's done it. She's gone. Baby time's over then. They've gone. No, Lily's threatening to pull the webcam out of the laptop. Iris is trying to eat her way into the podge. Porpentina is stealing napkins that are on my desk to take into her thing. Oh no, Iris is typing now. Can you clean your tail, dirty girl? Oh, she's trying to drink the paint water. But yeah, it's you little monkey. Oh, here she is, trying to steal things. Trying to steal. She's going to do some arting. But yeah, it's like they've always been here now, and they've never been scared. What's she doing over there? She's doing something. That's a lead. You don't chew that. Oh, it's not lead. It's leather. That's why you're chewing that. So yeah. So I will say goodbye to everybody. Say goodbye, Fatso. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. And see you at Jean's in a little while. Let me go, let me go, let me go. The mic food, the mic food, the mic food. No, I don't have any food. No. Oh, thank you for coming and see you all soon.